Okay, let's dive right into something so many of us wrestle with, relationships. And specifically that really frustrating feeling, getting stuck in the same dating patterns.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you meet someone new, seems promising, and then bam, somehow you hit the exact same walls last time. You're just left asking, why? Why does this keep happening to me?
Yeah, that feeling of repetition, that kind of dating deja vu, it's incredibly common. And it really points to something deeper, doesn't it? Deeper than just like the dating pool itself.
Right.
It suggests the common denominator might just be, well, you.
And that's exactly what drew us to the material we're exploring today.
Uh-huh.
We're digging into excerpts from a book called Connect: How to Know If He's Really Your Man by Dawn Burnett.
And the core idea here is pretty fascinating, actually. It argues that finding and building a healthy connection outward, with another person, well, it fundamentally depends on connecting inward first.
It completely shifts the focus, doesn't it? Away from just finding the right person.
Exactly, towards becoming whole yourself.
So our mission, our goal in this deep dive, is to really unpack the essential principles from this material. We want to understand why these patterns repeat and learn how to spot the pitfalls both in others and maybe more importantly within ourselves. And ultimately see how focusing on building that strong inner foundation is really the crucial first step to a healthy relationship. We've got insights, stories, practical tools from the book to explore.
Precisely. And the material uses some really vivid analogies to help you kind of grasp this. One of the most central is the idea of emotional baggage.
Ah, the trunk analogy, yes. That one really hits home. It describes this baggage like an old, overstuffed trunk you've been dragging around, sometimes for decades,
Yeah.
packed with past hurts, disappointments, negative beliefs you picked up somewhere along the way.
And the book makes it clear you don't just carry this trunk alone. It seriously impacts your relationships. It even points to statistics showing higher divorce rates for second or third marriages,
Wow.
suggesting people often end up finding essentially a carbon copy of Mr. Wrong because they haven't unpacked that original baggage.
It's like trying to start a fresh journey, but you're lugging the same heavy, awkward suitcase.
Yeah.
You're just going to keep tripping over the same things.
Exactly.
The book uses another great analogy, too, comparing it to a weed in a garden.
Oh, yeah, the weed analogy. That's powerful. If you just pull the top part of the weed, right, the green leafy bit,
Mm-hmm.
the root stays in the ground and it just grows back, often stronger, choking out the good plants. The material insists you have to dig deep, get right to the root of your issues, and really yank that root out.
Decisively.
Yeah, it's about addressing the core problem, not just the symptoms showing up in your dating life.
And that brings it full circle to calling dating a mirror. The person you attract, the book suggests, is often reflecting your own inner state back at you. So if your trunk is overflowing with unresolved stuff, well, you're likely to attract partners who are also struggling with their own unchecked baggage. It becomes this kind of chaotic reflection.
So the key insight here really is that dealing with that inner trunk, your own stuff, directly impacts how well you can navigate the external world of dating. As you shrink that baggage, your ability to spot potential problems, those, pesky red flags, it naturally gets sharper.
Okay, this is where some of the book's anecdotes get really, well, illustrative, sometimes shockingly so.
Yeah.
The material shares stories that definitely highlight what happens when you don't see the red flags, or maybe worse, you see them but choose to ignore them.
Like the author's own experience at a pool where she's observing someone she nicknames Blondie.
Right.
And this woman is just rapidly oversharing her entire dramatic life story, dating a married man, drinking heavily, the works, all within earshot.
And the author realizes Blondie seems different, drinking more, maybe more desperate, and living what she calls a broken record of a story. The insight there is how quickly significant red flags like unhealthy coping mechanisms or really questionable relationship choices can show up if you're just observing with clear eyes. It was an immediate, whoa, stop signal for the author.
And then there's that truly intense online date story, the one where before they even meet in person, the guy reveals he has a criminal record,
Oh, yeah.
an ex-wife in prison, schizophrenia in the family, and, the detail about dousing his stepfather with gasoline.
All in one phone call. It's almost unbelievable. But what the book pulls from that extreme example isn't just about avoiding crazy dates. It's about the critical importance of pre-meeting screening.
Listening.
And trusting your gut instinct. You don't need to be a detective. Just being present, asking simple questions can uncover major issues super early.
Absolutely. And there's another one, Ted's online date experience, her photos were completely inaccurate, like significantly different appearance, weight, unexpected tattoos under a muumuu.
Right, the false advertising aspect
Yeah.
of online dating.
Exactly. And the lesson there is about that moment of decision. When reality doesn't match the expectation, do you politely disengage, or do you feel obligated to push through? Ted initially felt obligated, which predictably led to more awkwardness.
And the story about the third date rule guy, John, who just assumed intimacy was happening.
Yeah.
The material uses that to hammer home the absolute need to have your boundaries and hold them firmly, even if it feels uncomfortable or means making a quick exit.
These stories, and others the book shares, like that poem mentioning Bob, Jim, and Larry.
Different guys, same baggage.
Exactly. Different men, but all carrying what the author recognized as the same baggage, unavailability, dysfunction, whatever it was. It really underlines that the type of problem you attract can repeat even when the person changes.
So, okay, let's pull out some of the specific dating clues, the red flags the book really wants you to watch for. It's pretty direct about this stuff.
Yeah, it is. Like if someone talks nonstop about their ex, the material says flat out, they haven't healed, move on.
And it gives that stark advice. Believe someone the first time they show you who they are. Don't make excuses for them.
Like the example given. Guy orders a beer at 9 a.m. Believe it could be a sign of alcoholism. Don't brush it off.
Or that slightly more alarming one. They ask about a nearby police station when they arrive at your door. The book actually floats the possibility they might be casing the place.
Okay, maybe a bit extreme, but the point is pay attention to odd behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Or even less dramatic things like fighting over trivial stuff early on could signal control issues, or maybe they're just not that interested romantically.
Right, and a really foundational one. Compromising your non-negotiable values. Like, if health is huge for you, dating a heavy smoker is probably not going to work long term.
These aren't just little quirks, they're signals the book urges you to really pay attention to and not ignore. Don't explain them away.
And all of this, it circles back to a really critical point the book makes. This idea that so many people are dating from a place of lack, kind of trying to get someone else to complete them or fill a void.
This is absolutely central to the material. True happiness isn't something a relationship gives you. It has to be a state of mind that comes from within you first.
Yeah, contrast that temporary joy you get from external things, like a partner's company, which can change, right? Or a beautiful flower that eventually wilts, or kids who grow up and leave home, with that deeper, more enduring happiness that comes from an internal source, like a solid belief system or maybe spirituality. External things can add joy, for sure, but they shouldn't be the foundation of your well-being.
And the book suggests that people who haven't really cultivated this inner light, this inner sense of okayness, are often unconsciously looking for someone else to be their solution, their fix for feeling lonely or incomplete.
But the advice isn't to be that solution for someone else.
No, definitely not. The advice is get your light shining bright, stay positive, be that beacon, but avoid becoming someone else's quick fix or their source of light. That's their work to do.
Which logically leads to the next step the book really pushes for. Getting crystal clear on what you actually want in a partner, like really defining it.
Yes, and it gives practical steps. Write down the qualities you desire, the non-negotiables, do it in detail, then revisit it, meditate on it, but, and this is important, release the rigid attachment to how or when it happens. The idea is that clarity helps you recognize the right connection when it shows up, often in unexpected ways.
It contrasts this really deliberate internal approach with what online dating can sometimes feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Like being an HR representative, just sifting through profiles, playing a numbers game.
Right. The material urges you to qualify dates, not just with your eyes, the profile pics, but crucially, with your ears. By listening deeply to what they say, how they say it, what's between the lines.
And this brings up a really insightful trap the book identifies. Falling in love with the story you create about someone.
Yes.
Rather than the actual reality of who they are in front of you. The story of Tess is a powerful illustration of exactly this.
Yeah. Tess's story. First, she fell for this pilot, George. And she was totally captivated by the idea of him, the fairy tale, the adventure being whisked away.
The fantasy.
Exactly. She projected all her own desires for excitement and escape onto him, even though there were clear red flags about his availability, his actual commitment level. She admits later she was in love with the story of George, not George the man.
And the book connects Tess's pattern here back to her own history. dealing with abandonment issues after her grandfather died, growing up with divorced parents,
Mm-hmm.
and focusing intensely on external achievements, the shoulds, career, accomplishments, rather than doing the inner work to really understand her own worth and patterns.
Mm-hmm.
She was operating from these limiting beliefs about herself.
And this can lead straight into what the book calls that gerbil on the spinning wheel syndrome, keeping busy externally,
Mhm.
achieving things.
Yeah.
But it prevents you from actually addressing the internal stuff, the baggage that makes you susceptible to falling for potential partners based on a fantasy you've cooked up instead of the reality.
Tessa's story then continues with Casey. This was a relationship where, initially, they seemed to share values, there was a connection.
Right, but then major issues around control started surfacing. And the book links this back to Casey's own background of abuse, but also to Tessa's pattern of being a caregiver and her deep-seated fear of not finding connection again if she left, even when things weren't right.
It shows how two people's unresolved issues can just collide in really unhealthy ways, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even if there's some initial compatibility on the surface. Tess apparently had moments that felt perfect, but deep down she knew, as the book puts it, the shoe didn't totally fit. But that fear kept her stuck.
Yeah, fear is a powerful anchor.
And this whole narrative leads into some of the most critical relationship red flags the book flags up, many drawn right from Tessa's experiences and other examples.
Like if you say you want a partner who's sophisticated, emotionally available, all right, but the person you're actually dating spends all their free time playing video games alone in a dark room. Well, the book's pretty blunt. They're probably not going to meet your needs in that area. It's a mismatch.
Or if you find yourself in that cycle of breaking up and getting back together over and over again.
The hard truth the book points out is nothing is actually changing. The core issues are still there.
A lack of sexual intimacy or feeling like you have to constantly initiate or even beg for it, that's flagged as a significant issue too.
Definitely. And if a partner is keeping you a secret, not introducing you to friends or family, or seems to be juggling multiple relationships.
The advice is pretty unmistakable there.
Yeah, the book's counsel in those situations is incredibly strong. Don't think, don't walk, run and run fast.
Okay.
It frames staying in those kinds of dynamics as ignoring blaring alarm bells. It means you're off course and more self-worth work is needed on your part.
Okay, shifting gears slightly. The book also directly tackles that societal pressure, that often negative view people have of being single.
Oh, yeah. You know that awkward moment? You mention you're single and someone immediately goes, oh, I'm so sorry, like it's some kind of disease.
Right. The material really pushes back hard on that mindset. It reframes being single not as a deficit, but potentially as a deliberate, conscious choice for happiness and freedom.
It really emphasizes that your relationship status does not define you. It's largely a mental game, how you frame it for yourself.
And it circles back again, inevitably, to that absolute core principle we keep mentioning. The most vital, the most successful relationship you can ever build.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one you have with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't truly connect or love another person in a healthy, sustainable way if you haven't cultivated that self-love, that wholeness first.
And there's a really practical angle to this, too. The book talks about safety and timing. That being single can actually be this crucial period to work on your own junk, as it calls it.
Yeah.
So that if and when Mr. Right or the right partner does appear, you're actually in a healthy place to build something lasting instead of messing it up because your unresolved issues sabotage it.
Okay, so to help people assess where they might actually be, in their current relationship dynamics or past ones, the material introduces a tool, calls it the toxic test.
Yeah, it's presented as a set of, I think, 25 questions, designed specifically to reveal potentially unhealthy patterns. It's not meant to be about judgment, more about fostering self-awareness.
Right. And the questions cover a whole range of things like, do you find yourselves keeping score of past hurts? Constantly bringing up old mistakes?
Do you struggle with blame, always pointing fingers, or maybe resorting to emotional blackmail or manipulation to get your way?
Do you feel anxious or irritated when you have to spend time apart?
Or maybe the opposite, do you feel like you're losing your own identity in the relationship, like you're fading away?
Are you constantly focused on trying to make the other person happy, even at your own expense?
Do you generally feel worse about yourself when you're around them compared to when you're not?
They also ask about things like frequent criticism, name-calling, feeling afraid to disagree.
Feeling lied to, or just having this persistent sense of unease? Partners who constantly make excuses for their bad behavior.
Feeling drained by the relationship.
Hmm.
Clinginess. Criticism about your body or appearance.
Yeah. mocking you, even jokingly. Repeated lying, feeling inadequate around your partner.
Feeling lonely or empty even when you're physically together. That's a big one.
Partner being emotionally distant, refusing to discuss important topics. It covers a lot of ground.
And the takeaway from this test in the book is, well, it's pretty uncompromising. The material states clearly that if you answer yes to any of these questions, it indicates you are likely in a toxic relationship dynamic.
And again, it's not presented as like a final verdict, you're doomed. It's more of a call to action, a signal that you really need to address communication patterns, look at the dynamic, and fundamentally get back to dealing with your own underlying emotional baggage.
It just reinforces that need for that period of self-focus, of healing. So, okay, how do you actually do that self-work? How do you build that inner connection? The book wraps up with a series of simple, practical steps, things you can actually start doing.
Yeah, these are framed as ways to bring balance back into your life, gain clarity, and genuinely focus on nurturing yourself, which, in turn, the book suggests, allows positivity and greatness to flow into your life more easily.
One really foundational practice it recommends is keeping a daily gratitude journal.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it maybe before bed, just listing things you're thankful for, big or small. It explains this isn't just like positive thinking fluff. It actually helps raise your energetic vibration, recalibrates your focus for the good things already in your life.
Saying positive affirmations in the mirror is another key step recommended, especially when those negative thoughts start creeping in. The material suggests this can literally help reprogram negative thought patterns, maybe even at a cellular level over time.
And it gives some specific examples like, I am whole and complete and I love myself deep at the center of my being. Or, my body is perfect just the way it is and I accept where I am at this moment.
Also, I live in balance and harmony and I experience love everywhere I go, and simply, I am happy and free to be me. Powerful stuff if you actually practice it.
Setting aside even just 20 minutes a day for quiet sitting or meditation is also recommended. It's about clearing that mental clutter, developing the capacity to handle life's challenges from a calmer place. Doesn't have to be formal cross-legged meditation either. Just sitting quietly counts.
The book also touches on physical health being linked to mental health, recommending good nutrition, organic, non-GMO, whole foods, clean proteins,
Great.
and some key supplements like fish oil, D3, B12, folate, probiotics, seeing these as essential for mental clarity, for avoiding that brain fog that can cloud judgment.
Connecting spiritually, whatever that means for you, or using prayer, is suggested as a source of strength and support, especially during tough times.
Physical movement matters too, getting at least 20 minutes of exercise daily, and ideally finding something you actually enjoy doing.
And basic self-care, like making sure you get at least 7 hours of sleep. That's stressed because lack of sleep just clouds everything, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And doing something every single day, even something small, that simply makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Listening to music, taking a bath, reading, smelling flowers, whatever works for you. It's about actively nurturing that inner joy.
And finally, a big one. The practice of forgiveness, starting with forgiving yourself.
That
The
crucial.
old book reminds you, look, you made the best choices you could with the knowledge and awareness you had at that time. Your past actions don't have to define your present or your future. Forgiveness is presented as absolutely key to releasing the past and being able to move forward freely.
Wow. We've really covered quite a journey here, haven't we? From understanding the weight of that emotional baggage, spotting some pretty intense red flags, to realizing that happiness really is an inside job, and then exploring these practical ways to connect with ourselves on a deeper level.
And as you've been listening, you might have recognized yourself or maybe patterns from your own relationships in some of these stories and concepts.
Yeah.
And that's self-recognition. That's exactly the first step the material encourages, just noticing.
The powerful takeaway, though echoed throughout the book, is that knowledge, just knowing the stuff, is only truly impactful when you put it into practice, when you apply it.
Right.
The path to finding and maintaining a healthy relationship with another person genuinely starts by cultivating that healthy, connected, loving relationship with yourself first.
It's about seeing your own life as the primary canvas, isn't it?
Yeah.
And focusing on painting a beautiful, fulfilling landscape for yourself first and foremost.
Well said.
So let's leave you with a thought to carry forward from this deep dive. Perhaps it's that idea from Dr. Wayne Dyer that the book mentions. If you meet someone whose soul is not aligned with yours, send them love and move along. Simple, but profound.
Or maybe just this reminder. You may not be exactly where you want to be in your relationship journey right now, but you are definitely not where you used to be. You are on your way.